Greetings pilot and welcome to the breach. In the first episode we completed tasks in Terran space, and today we're going to continue where we left off and move into Commonwealth systems. We'll also gain our first open-ended quest, which is to build modules on the player HQ. At the end of the last session I nearly got to a round number, just overshot the mark just a little. Before the 7.0 beta dropped, I'd been working on a guide on how to make money in X4. I had 5 A4 pages of scribbled notes concerning how, when and where to make money, and then how to invest this money to make more money. I am hoping some of those notes are still useful at some point, but we shall see. We'll just follow these missions until we hit the real sandbox.
Recruit! It's good to see you're still in one piece. Apologies for the harsh welcome earlier. Communications cut off as soon as you engage those Xenon infrastructure units. And I cannot stand having no vision on my subordinates. There's no need for a detailed report, Recruit. My staff have already extracted your ship logs the moment you arrived. It is beyond dispute that what you have witnessed is of the utmost concern to the Protectorate, but that is only half of the reason why I called you here personally. You have displayed unquestionable obedience and clarity of mind in the most stressful of situations, and distinguished yourself as a defender of Sol in even the darkest hours of our operation. I hereby raise you to the rank of Special Operative, and no, refusal is not an option. But I might deign to answer some of your questions, if you have any. No classified subjects, though. My analysts are not entirely sure about the exact order of events. For that, we would have to interrogate Shinneman himself, and he remains MIA. Judging by your report, it seems he may have been abducted. But I have a suspicion that there's more to it than that. I really should have read the signs beforehand. After all, predicting the movements of ally and enemy alike is core to my job here. For some reason, Shinneman must have tried desperately to make a name for himself, to be inquisitive and proactive in every situation. He also seems to have eerie intuition regarding the Xenon. I can only guess that something in his childhood, surrounded by stories about the glorious Terran war against the machine scourge, must have sparked his imagination. Try to understand. That which cannot be understood might have been his downfall. A cutting-edge operation to strengthen societal cohesion, or, if you believe intervention, just another failed experiment. When I originally pitched the idea, I was mostly concerned with creating a common cause for the disenfranchised of Sol, though drawing in foreign attention seekers turned out to be a welcome side effect. After all, why would you care? Stand up and fight for our beautiful system if you felt like a second-class citizen, or worse, an alien. I suppose there are a few parallels to the Pioneers' Initiative. Another campaign that defied expectations in its own way. Call it a hunch, but I'm sure you'll be able to see that for yourself very soon. That was an unfortunate confrontation, to say the least. We came close to a debacle, but I was ultimately able to smooth things over with the Secretary of the Antigone Republic. When interacting with the rest of the Gate Network, we will always attempt to show ourselves from our best angle. But make no mistake, Earth will not allow herself to be abused or threatened ever again. I suppose I do owe you an explanation. Yes, I suspected that the glorious Intervention Corps would have their eye on us from the start. And I did recognize the captain of that transport ship immediately. I do understand his perspective. A ragtag bunch of barely citizens, would-be heroes and foreigners defending Sol. That sounds like a recipe for failure. Still, I did not expect Commander Lee to degrade himself and poke around right under our noses, only to spit on our efforts when he saw us stumble. My department may not have much power in the grand scheme of things, but this will have consequences, believe me. Well, I must say that I am hesitant to send you away again so soon. But since you're asking, there might indeed be something to help take your mind off these unfortunate events. That is, if you think you're ready. I see. No time to waste, right? Now, I would like to talk to you about this so-called Project Genesis. That's the codename of a top-secret operation that the Cigaris pioneers are cooking up. We certainly know more about it than they would like, but we remain in the dark when it comes to their ultimate goal. We do know that it involves a facility in their space with an unknown purpose. Fortunately for us, there seems to have been an incident, and the station was evacuated until repairs could be carried out. This is a short-lived opportunity to gather intel. As such, we've taken action to inject false security documents into a Pioneer database. Congratulations, Operative. You're now a qualified Pioneer Engineer First Class. You're set to join one of their engineering teams to repair that facility. During the operation, gather whatever information you can, but use your discretion. Just follow along with their instructions and you'll be fine. The team is gathering in Neptune.
Well, I seem to have got a promotion and no talk of remuneration. Typical.
Bookery.
Just like in the last episode, I'll be reducing the travel time by editing, unless something important happens, like we get some more information for our present mission.
Stop! We believe the scientist in charge of Project Genesis is also heading up the repair team. Be sure to stay on his good side.
Xenon sympathizer.
Requesting permission to dock. Docking permission granted.
Entering asteroid. Entering Jupiter. Entering Saturn 1.
I'm glad they don't use the British pronunciation on this one.
Entering Uranus. Entering Neptune.
You're late. Fortunately for you, we're having technical difficulties. I looked over your file, and I must say it made for interesting reading. Know this, you will have to impress me personally if you want any chance of getting an assignment worthy of your apparent skill set. While we wait for departure, perhaps you can showcase your resourcefulness. I'm in need of an item not often found on the general market. Should you find it, you will most certainly have piqued my interest. Or sent over some details.
Looting everything for the win.
Docking granted.
Just so you're not completely lost without my guidance, I've marked a potential location where you can hope to find the item. Check your map for those details. These items are often sourced from Xenon, but it would not be very professional of me to encourage you to seek them out.
He's looking to acquire AGI technology. It seems we can add solicitation of illegal materials to his list of charges. Carry on. We can't afford to make him suspicious now.
Good job. You're just in time. We're about ready to disembark. We're on our way towards a facility very important to the future of our people. It recently suffered structural damage due to some unknown spatial distortion. That's why you've been brought in. Our resources are limited, but our people are exceptional. I welcome you to the team. Unfortunately, our limited resources force us to make a minor detour. A number of satellites have been targeted by Xenon. While we managed to intercept the attackers, several satellites have been left in a state of disrepair. I will assign a number of satellites for you to return to working order. Let's get to work.
The Alliance of the White seeks inquiring minds. Interested scientists should convene at our expedition staging grounds in Heritage End. We intend to illuminate the mysteries of junkie technology. All are welcome. Science knows no boundaries of race or faction.
That's the invitation to start the Boron campaign. The campaign does reward you with a unique frigate, but I don't like selling unique items to gain money. I'd much rather keep them.
Ukri.
Remember, this is critical work. Those satellites don't just help with our research, they also serve as a sensor net.
I'm quite sure this sensor net is also used to keep tabs on Terran Protectorate activity in their sectors. Go ahead and repair it, but we may take action later.
Sir,
Ukri.
First satellite repaired. Second satellite repaired. Once you've seen one satellite repaired, you've seen them all.
Docking granted. Ukri. Docking granted. Successfully docked.
now that that's out of the way, we can finally get on with our primary task. I can hardly wait.
Docking complete.
And here we are. As you know, this is a high-security facility. Just because you have clearance to do your job, it doesn't mean you can go wandering off or touch everything. It is currently unmanned and in safe mode until we can repair the damage and ensure no further anomalies occur.
Do you know what causes those anomalies?
I'm not at liberty to divulge such information, but rest assured you will be safe to perform your duties. We begin by repairing the external structure. Get into your spacesuits and prepare to be guided to your assigned positions.
A nice simple mission,
Okay.
repairing 3 spots on an external docking module. What could possibly go wrong?
Bukri. Docking granted. Bukri.
We're picking up strange readings again. You better get back to the ship. Gravimetric shears. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking granted. Docking aborted.
What is this? Some large artificial structure. So this is what was on the other side of the tear. It does seem that our investigation has led to some potentially groundbreaking discovery. Assistant? Assistant? Can you hear me? Oh dear. It seems that they were either vaporized or pulled through the rift themselves. And what is this? You there. Are you all right? You are in Taladi space, assuming you know what a Taladi is. My name is Bozo Tar. Some might call me one of the foremost minds of the current age. If anyone knew I existed, that is. But never mind that. Did you perhaps get pulled through the rift along with this station? Now, let us keep a calm demeanor. Otherwise, your oxygen intake may increase rapidly. I will send a ship to your location. I do hope you will tell me where you have come from. First, let's get you to safety.
So that Boron sacrificed a life on the altar of science. I probably shouldn't be quick to judge.
Docking granted.
It appears you are sufficiently safe. Am I correct in assuming that you have some connection to this station? I have already begun to remotely interface with its systems and appear to have gained significant access. I have oh so many questions I would like answered, but unfortunately, it seems I must go. You see, I am not currently supposed to be working on this project. It appears that I am at a disadvantage and find myself entrusting stewardship of the station to you. Ha! For all I know, you are an enemy agent, already privy to the inner workings of this facility. Please do not use it for nefarious purposes while I am absent.
And here we have our first open-ended quest. Build a docking module on the player HQ. We'll look at that in a second, but first we'll get to the other spaceship that we left behind, parked up somewhere safe. Our short-range sensors aren't picking up any space stations in the local area, so we'll have to ping to find something a little bit further afield. Well, there's a few stations in the local vicinity, so let's go and park up at one. I noticed a little bit of loot floating around the station. Let's go and see if we can collect it. Well, that's handy. 63 hull parts. Can't complain about that. So, as of right now, we've been playing for 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we have 178,000 credits in the bank. We've now entered what is really the sandbox part of the game. There is loads of mission arcs, but we can pick them up as and when we want. But for now, we've been given a player HQ, but we can't access it until we build a dock for it.
First, place a new dock module. You can put it wherever you desire. I would award you imaginary star points for attaching it to the structure, but you are, of course, free to express your artistic virtuosity.
Building a dock module here is the bare minimum. We're going to push a little further and we're going to build a storage module and a solar power plant. The solar power plant will be our first passive means of making some money.
Now, allocate sufficient credits to the construction site. I recommend accepting the estimated construction budget.
Well, that's all very nice if you've got lots of cash, but we're a little cash poor at the moment, so we're going to drop the price and try and get things for as cheap as possible. We'll put a little cash into the station so it can start buying the cheap stuff like energy cells.
Lastly, you need to hire a builder.
Because we started the playthrough as a Terran, some of the build resources are non-standard, so computronic substrate and silicon carbide can only be bought from the Terrans themselves, so that's going to cause a little problem down the line.
Map interface is automatically filtering for the correct ship type. If you expand the scope of your map, you may be able to spot one of these contractors just wandering about. If you have no luck, consider deploying more satellites to improve your visual range and inch even closer to omniscience.
Yeah, we'll have to hunt down a construction ship.
Provided that you have allocated sufficient funds to the construction site, other traders will now begin to deliver the required materials. You can observe the containers being stockpiled at the build storage, a small temporary structure on the outskirts of the station build plot.
Sir?
The loot we picked up earlier, the hull parts, well, we're going to put them to use now by putting them into the build storage. We're also going to use the build storage as a temporary place to store the other stuff we loot as well. We don't want those medical supplies reducing what we can collect in this small freighter.
Can I help?
I would have sworn I saw one of the updates was improved AI, which I assumed to mean that the piloting was going to be improved. How wrong I was. Okay, the boss was breathing over his shoulder, maybe he was just a little bit nervous. This is the build storage, and we're going to get Gantelios to drop off the hull parts for us.
The ship will be undocking soon.
Well, that was nice and easy. Another 63 hull parts.
The ship will be undocking soon.
Looking at the loot we've acquired and what we've managed to make from the crafting station, we make 106,000 credits. The hull parts we acquired was worth about 50 to 60,000 credits as well. Well, look at that, we just need 9 more hull parts. And you can see some traders have started dropping off resources to us as well. We're going to add a bit more money to the pot so they can buy more resources.
Kestrel, Vanguard.
Sir?
So we're picking up bits of loot here and there, but it's not really earning us a great deal of money. And I will want to change that. I want to be earning some serious cash. So in the next episode, we'll be looking at a way to make some serious money. Well, it used to be in 6.0. Let's see if it's still viable in 7.0. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.